On the news, President Tinubu to hold talks with Xi Jinping in China amid seizure of Nigerian assets. Lagos State Ministry of Health gives briefing on measures being implemented against Mpox. And Chief Air Staff directs clamp down on terrorists and oil thieves. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simi Salachko. Amid the flurry of seizures of Nigerian assets by Chinese firm Zhangsheng Fusheng Industrial Investment Limited, President Bola Tinubu is set to hold bilateral talks with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping at the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit between September 4 and 6, 2024. In the dispute involving an arbitration award, the court in Paris ruled in favor of the Chinese firm, allowing it to seize 3 presidential jets on routine maintenance in France as security for claims in a decades-long judicial matter between the foreign company and the Ogun State government. A French court recently ruled in favor of the firm and granted the seizure of presidential jets belonging to the Nigerian government.
This is going to be part of a broader engagement where the two heads of state will discuss matters of mutual interest across not just the economy, but also on issues of national, regional, and international security. Furthermore, His Excellency Mr. President would thereafter join the FOCAC summit, where several African heads of state will be present to engage with Chinese leaders on various important matters. At this FOCAC summit, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his capacity as the chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, will deliver remarks on behalf of the region and certainly would proceed to the high-level peace and security plenary, where he will further deliver remarks on peace and security in the region and in Africa in his capacity as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This engagement is expected to yield very tangible, immediate, and future dividends for the sake of the Nigerian economy and for the benefit of the Nigerian people.
On health, the Nigerian government has reaffirmed its commitment to combating malaria through actionable programs. Minister of State for Health, Tunji Alausa, who revealed this while addressing journalists in Abuja after a virtual inaugural meeting of the Nigeria End Malaria Council, highlighted that the country bears the highest malaria burden globally, with 25% of cases occurring in the country. He emphasized that malaria predominantly affects children and causes significant economic losses due to reduced workforce and school attendance. Speaking further, the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria End Malaria Council, Okwe Abegunde, who underscored the importance of prioritizing malaria and advancing the country's efforts to align with the World Health Organization's goal of eliminating malaria by 2030, acknowledged that Nigeria is currently far from meeting this target.
As it is now currently, we have one of the highest burden of malaria in the world. And 25% of global malaria cases is domiciled in Nigeria. And about 630% of 30% of 600,000 deaths from malaria, Nigeria accounts for that. And if you imagine, most of these deaths occur in children and in pregnant women. Also, malaria constitutes a huge loss of human capital from people not going to work, people not going to school. And also, it's an indirect drain on our economy. And that's why we need to now move from just maintaining and palliating malaria to actually now working actively to eliminate malaria from our country. Other countries have done it in the last decade. It's possible to be done, and we need more domestic resource mobilization to do this. And that's what this Malaria End Malaria Council is all about, to help mobilize support, and is part of the entire plan of that the continent has put together to eliminate malaria.
Malaria is supposed to be ended in Nigeria, malaria is supposed to end in Nigeria by the year 2030. And looking at current indices and results, we're quite far from where we want to be. I believe that if everything that they plan to do is executed according to plan, we'll definitely be moving close to elimination of malaria by 2030 if we haven't eliminated malaria by then. Please ensure that you try and stay away from getting infected or affected by malaria. Zero malaria starts with me, it starts with you, it starts with all of us.
Still on health, the Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, has confirmed that there are currently no active cases of Mpox in the state. Speaking at a press briefing held in Lagos on Tuesday, the commissioner assured residents that the state government is taking proactive measures to curb further increase in cases, including plans to launch a public sensitization program to educate the public about the virus. Abayomi also mentioned that the government is closely monitoring the situation to ensure that the Mpox strain circulating in Central Africa, Clade 1B, is prevented from entering Nigeria. Regarding the deployment of vaccines, the commissioner says discussions are ongoing among authorities to determine the best course of action.
At this point in time, we do not have any active cases of Mpox, whether it's the indigenous Clade 2 type or the mutant Clade 1B that is circulating in the Central African countries. We do not have any active cases in Lagos at this point in time. What we're doing here is preemptively preparing because of the mobility of Lagosians, Nigerians, and Africans in general. There is a high probability, because there are 4 airlines that come into Lagos from Central Africa. Therefore, the risk of importing a case into Lagos is there. And government's responsibility is to anticipate and to prepare. And so that's why we're having this meeting, to anticipate and to gather minds of experts to discuss, to understand what this mutant virus is doing, to understand how to diagnose it, to understand how to prepare the public, how to inform the public of the risk factors and the features of Mpox, and to prepare how to treat it.
Meanwhile, the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria Lagos State Chapter has commended the state government on its effort to create or set up an affordable health insurance scheme, the Ilera Eco scheme. According to the chairman of the group, Tolulope Ajayi, other state government and the federal government should emulate the health scheme already in operation in Lagos State. Ajayi says the motive behind this action is to address the widespread issue of inappropriate dispensing of medications under the country's social health insurance scheme, as well as to ensure that healthcare professionals adhere to the guidelines stipulated in these acts. He also said more attention should be paid to the payment of fees for professional services rendered under the National Health Insurance Scheme.
Lagos State government is getting it right, because now payment goes directly to community pharmacy practitioners. So the point is, if Lagos gets it right, we should also be able to cascade it across all our states and at the national level to ensure that there's no need to lump them up. It's so clear. Fee for service rendered by pharmacists is paid directly to them, and then fees, capitation for hospitals, this also goes to them. Because by the time we complicate it by saying money that is due to pharmacists first paid to this HMO, then you are leaving it to the whims and caprices of the HMO to determine when that payment eventually now gets to the pharmacist. And like we know, when it comes to financial matters, a whole lot of things go into it. I mean, that we all know about. If we allow this to continue and payment to service providers get delayed, there's no how we will be able to sustain the system. People will get demoralized, people will have challenges funding their operations or replenishing their stocks when they run out. So the way to go is for all other states, and the national scheme to borrow leave from what is happening in Lagos and ensure that payment goes directly. And that's why I also said earlier on, that healthcare delivery is majorly about the patient. Whatsoever it will take us to deliver quality healthcare delivery to the patient is the way to go.
Away from health to security matters, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has directed air component commandants to step up military operations and hit terrorists and oil thieves hard. Abubakar issued the directive in Abuja during a virtual meeting while lauding the commandants for their outstanding performance so far. He highlighted the critical role they have played in ensuring the safety and security of the nation, saying their dedication and tactical efforts have led to a series of successful missions. Abubakar, however, emphasized that the challenges are far from over and called on the commanders to continue leveraging the intelligence, precision strikes and collaborative efforts with sister services to neutralize remaining threats. The CAS further reassured the commanders that the NAF leadership remains fully committed to their welfare and the provision of needed resources and equipment to enhance operational capabilities. Still on security, the Nigeria Police Force has arrested 97 suspects in connection with an attack on police personnel during a clash between the police and members of the proscribed Islamic Movement of Nigeria (IMN), also known as the Shiite group, in Abuja. The police also recovered several weapons used by the group. The attackers, armed with machetes, improvised explosive devices and knives, launched violent assaults that resulted in the deaths of 2 police officers, leaving 3 others injured and unconscious, and set fire to 3 police patrol vehicles. Addressing newsmen, the Southwest coordinator of the IMN, Muftau Zakaria, claimed the group was engaged in a peaceful religious procession and had informed relevant authorities about their activities. He alleged the security forces disrupted their exercise and occupied areas within the Federal Capital Territory.
I also partaked in the procession on Saturday that we did in what do you call it now? Maraba and Suleja. I took part in the one that happened in Suleja. We did everything peacefully and everything ended peacefully on Saturday. On Sunday, we were attacked by the police in Wuse Market. While we were passing, the police just came and opened fire. So it is after we have done our extensive research that we wanted to come here and show you some of our people that have been wounded. But the police are going around, because I know one of the things they fear most is that we should react. In 2015, when they attacked the house of our leader and killed over 1,000 of us, we didn't open fire on anybody. To date, they cannot say the Shiites kill anybody. It is not in our nature.
Speaking at a press conference at the force headquarters in Abuja, the Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Dejobi reported that the Inspector General of Police Olukayode Egbetokun has condemned the attack and ordered a thorough investigation into the incident.
The Nigerian Police Force has condemned vehemently an unprovoked attack by members of the proscribed Islamic Movement of Nigeria (IMN), commonly known as the Shiite group, of police personnel in Abuja on August 25, 2024. The incident occurred at Wuse Junction by the traffic lights, where assailants targeted a police checkpoint and descended heavily on policemen on duty. The attackers, who were armed with machetes, improvised explosive devices, knives, and other offensive weapons, embarked on several violent attacks, which left 2 police officers dead instantly. And the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, FSPSP, the progressive efforts of police operatives have led to the arrest of 97 suspects and the recovery of several weapons used during the attack. The IGP has also reaffirmed the unalloyed zeal of the force to arrest other involved persons and bring the killers to justice, emphasizing his commitment to maintaining law and resisting all sorts of anarchy.
In other stories, the Center for Accountability and Transparency has called for an investigation into importation of blended crude oil by indigenous oil company Matrix Energy Limited, alleging violation of international sanctions on Russian oil. The group alleges that Matrix Energy imported adulterated petroleum products from Malta, resulting in a $2.8 billion expense for Nigeria in 2023 alone. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, the convener of the group, Okwa Dan, claims Matrix Oil's actions have caused economic sabotage, environmental pollution, and health risks to Nigerians. He adds that the company's actions violate international sanctions on Russian crude oil, which could lead to diplomatic crisis for Nigeria.
Since we have seen that Matrix Energy Limited and its accomplices, including those in NNPCL, are recalcitrant and unwilling to stop their economic sabotage, the Center for Accountability and Transparency is calling on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to arrest and prosecute every one of those that have committed the heinous act of economic sabotage and violated the international sanctions imposed on the crude oil of Russian origin. We further invite the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to investigate Matrix Energy Limited, since the dirty fuel it distributed in the country has caused harm to consumers in different forms, including economic losses occasioned by damaged automobiles and generators. The National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRE, must similarly look into the impact of these tainted oil products on the environment to cause the cessation of further importation of such, to make the culprit behind it face relevant punishments. Finally, gentlemen of the press, we urge the Price Cap Coalition, comprising the G7, the European Union, and Australia, to activate targeted sanctions against Matrix Energy Limited and all its officials and accomplices for violating the sanctions against Russia.
Meanwhile, the Matrix Energy Limited management has filed a libel suit at the Federal Capital Territory High Court seeking 20 billion naira as damages over reports linking it to the alleged importation of low-grade fuel from Malta to Nigeria. Denying the allegations, the plaintiffs asked the court for a declaration that the accusation made by the defendant on August 17, 2024 is false, malicious, libelous, and defamatory. We'll go on a short break, but coming up, NFF appoints Chairman Bruno Labbadia as Super Eagles coach. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. Amid the flurry of seizures of Nigerian assets by Chinese firm Zhongshan Fusheng Industrial Investment Limited, President Bola Tinubu is set to hold bilateral talks with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping at the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation Summit between September 4 and 6, 2024. In the dispute involving an arbitration award, the court in Paris ruled in favor of the Chinese firm, allowing it to seize 3 presidential jets on routine maintenance in France as security for claims in a decades-long judicial matter between the foreign company and the Ogun State government. We also informed you that the Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, has confirmed there are currently no active cases of mpox in the state. Speaking at a press briefing in Lagos on Tuesday, the commissioner assured residents that the state government is taking proactive measures to curb further increase in cases, including plans to launch a public sensitization program to educate the public about the disease. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
Get ready for the 8th edition of the Voice of Women Conference and Awards, VAL 2024. Theme, Achieving Women's Inclusion for a Sustainable Nigeria. Mark your calendar for Thursday, 3rd of October 2024, 9 a.m. at the NAV Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. And be part of a national dialogue bringing together grassroots and urban women in the quest for inclusion and sustainability in Nigeria. VAL 2024 is more than just a conference, it's a powerful movement. VAL 2024, an initiative of Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio, is where diverse women groups converge to champion inclusive policies and drive national development.
Let's now join Joy Uchejim to bring us up to speed with happenings in the world of business. What's going on, Joy?
Thank you, Simi. Well, on business, the federal government of Nigeria has selected 23 fund managers to oversee the $10 billion Nigeria Global Investment Fund, which aims to attract both international and local capital into critical sectors of the Nigerian economy, including agriculture, manufacturing, energy, infrastructure, and fintech. According to a presentation document, the selection of fund managers follows a rigorous evaluation process overseen by the Securities Exchange Commission. All 23 fund managers were chosen based on criteria such as their experience in managing public sector partnerships, financial stability, international investment expertise, and adherence to environmental, social, and governance principles. These fund managers will each oversee specific sub-funds within the NGIF, which has been structured to house 14 distinct sub-funds and 49 individual funds. We'll take a short break and return with stock market reports. Welcome back. Nigeria's equities market on Tuesday recorded its second positive close this week, rallying by 0.49% or 272 billion naira, as investors primarily purchased shares of Total Energies, Julius Berger, and other major advancers that pushed the market higher. Leading the charge, Total Nigeria saw a notable 10% increase in its share price, ending the day at 619 naira 30 kobo per share. Julius Berger Nigeria also made its presence felt with significant gains, and by the end of the first trading day of the week on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, 443 million shares were traded in 8,493 deals, corresponding to a market value of 5.7 billion naira. Now, on the global scene, US Dow Jones took a bearish turn, while the UK's FTSE and the Japan's Nikkei enjoyed positive trading on Tuesday. Now, turning to the foreign exchange market, the naira experienced a dip against the US dollar, trading at 1,615 naira on the black market. Meanwhile, the British pound was valued at 2,120 naira and the euro traded at 1,800 naira on the black market. And that concludes our business and stock market reports. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Joy, for that update. In other stories, the World Health Organization, WHO, is expected to decide on the issuance of an emergency use listing for Mpox vaccine within the next 3 weeks. Director General of the World Health Agency, Tedros Ghebreyesus, announced this at the opening of the WHO Africa Regional Conference following the submission of all required information by the vaccine manufacturer. Ghebreyesus, who said the effort would require a complex, comprehensive and coordinated international response, stressed the importance of accurate diagnosis to distinguish Mpox from other infections with similar symptoms such as chickenpox or herpes. Tedros also highlighted the need for approximately $135 million to bring the current Mpox outbreaks in Africa under control. New coach for the Super Eagles, 58-year-old German tactician Bruno Labbadia has managed several clubs, including Bayer Leverkusen, Hamburg, Stuttgart, Wolfsburg, and Hertha Berlin. Veteran sports analyst Kunle Sholaja joins me to discuss the appointment of the Super Eagles' new coach. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, Bruno Labbadia is undoubtedly bringing a wealth of experience to the table, but are you convinced that he can take on the challenge of leading the Super Eagles to qualify for both AFCON and the World Cup?
Well, thank you very much. That's a very difficult question to start with, because the man has been appointed just 12 days before a crucial match. So it leaves for imagination how much he understands the Nigerian players' mentality and how much of the players, his knowledge of the players will also have to play a crucial role. And don't also forget the fact that this is the first job that Bruno Labbadia will be having outside his country, Germany. And in terms of experience, he has only played for Germany 2 times in his playing career, and all his coaching career had been with some German clubs. So, but like they always say, let us not judge a book by the cover. Let's see what he comes up with. And he being the first coach to be announced under the cover of darkness, because it was while Nigerians were sleeping that the press release and the social media announcement came up. So let's just wait and see what he has under his sleeves.
So, quickly, sir, there has always been this debate over a foreign coach being a better choice for the Super Eagles, especially after the national team's poor performances under local coaches. Now, why is it that these local coaches have not performed as expected?
Well, that's very simple. First and foremost, most Nigerian players who have ventured abroad, coming back to Nigeria to play, often look down at their local coaches here. And most of the things that they will never attempt with the foreign coaches will be done here. A case in point is the outburst of, what's his name now? Victor Osimhen against Super Eagles' former coach. As at the time he was making that outburst, Finidi George was still the coach. And one wondered if he would have done the same with even an assistant coach in his club without escaping sanction. Unfortunately, the Nigerian Football Association or Nigerian Football Federation allowed that thing to go like that. What it means is that in a short while or in future, such occurrences will at least come up. They never even attempted to make that player to even issue apology, even if you don't want to sanction the player. And up till now, Victor Osimhen has not given any apology whatsoever for the outburst that he made. So, naturally, most of the domestic coaches are all often looked down by these players who have overbloated their impression about their ability.
We do hope that Labbadia leads the Super Eagles to victory. Sports analyst, Mr. Kunle Sholaja, thank you very much, sir, for talking to us. Well, that's it on News Now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.